Hello, Mixmate here. 2025 completed. Woohoo! This video is just looking back on the year and my rambles about it, honestly. The reason why I did the vlogs I've done this year was because I wasn't too certain, even applying to the present day, if I'm still going to make it in life. Depression and trauma are not fun to deal with, and it interferes with my ability to do things, as I should be doing as an adult in my mid-20s. And even when it comes to creative content like making music, doing Blender, even mashups, it's hard to dredge up motivation for them. It's also why the vlogs weren't exactly engaging either, because all I wanted was to get my voice out there, and to the best of my state and ability at the time, that's what I did. I'd like to revisit them at some stage in the future if things get better, but otherwise, I'm content. If you want a summary of those vlogs and don't want to go through the hours worth of me talking, it's basically like this. Your mental health, if you're struggling like I am, doesn't justify the harm you cause to other people. This was something I was guilty of since I was in high school and a bit in adulthood. Fat phobia, fat shaming is not okay, as it's essentially normalized abuse, and the fact that we've been encouraged this behavior since we were kids is disturbing and needs to be addressed more. And the whole belief of treating bad people badly is what abusers push onto us to encourage us not to necessarily abuse people who may genuinely deserve it, but also other people abusers may not like. And the reason we listen to abusers at all is because they fake appearances to convince everyone else around them that they're good people, while they intentionally slander their victims. And that last vlog is something we need to understand more than ever as we go through the world today, because how people talk about others they don't like screams a lot about who they are. Because if you're someone who advocates for human rights, so long as you imply in some form or capacity that there's an exception to your advocacy, you end up being a hypocrite. Because with bigotry, you can't fight against racism but then ignore sexism. You can't fight transphobia but then ignore fatphobia. You can't fight for mental health and victims of abuse but then start invalidating someone else's experiences or defend other abusers. You get the gist, right? We're all in this together. Especially when it comes to the genuinely abusive individuals. You can condemn them without resorting to bigotry or abusive behaviors, but if you can't do that, then your advocacy for human rights can't ever be authentic and honest. And it goes back a lot into what I spoke about in terms of how I had to figure out what it meant to be a good person in the world we live in today. Because people keep up appearances so much for multiple reasons, and it's abusers who subtly reveal their true colours in public that you really catch out on. Like I spoke about with fat phobia, given how normalised it is in the world, and as just said, even the way they talk about other abusive individuals. As for those who are openly aware they're being abusive and knowing they can get away with it, I wish we could all come together to pressure them and actually hold them accountable and bear the consequences of the damage they've done. Because unity is so important in these times. Imagine if all of us came together to pressure the governments to stop genocide, to stop bigotry in all forms, to stop all abuse and toxicity running rampant in the world. I mean, we've seen people come together for trivial things like Sonic's design for the live action movie and because some white person's show got cancelled, and how things changed because of that. Imagine that same energy to make a huge impact in the world. Again, if we want everyone to be free from bigotry and abuse, we can't leave anyone behind. Would be nice if I could run a community, but I'm not cut out for that. If you want to try making a smaller difference in our everyday lives, if you know about the genocides in the world and knowing which companies are untrustworthy people as well, make it a habit to avoid purchasing from them. Compromise where you can on that front, because it's going to be unrealistic to boycott literally everything, given how deep the roots go in all the problems ongoing in the world, especially if boycotting everything sacrifices our well-being. So again, just compromise where you can. And one more thing before I wrap this vlog up. If you were a bad person in the past and you made mistakes or have done awful things like I did, just remember you are able to change. It won't be an overnight thing if you were fed toxic beliefs and encouraged abuse in your upbringing, but you have to be willing to be uncomfortable being called out for the bad you do, and you have to be willing to take those baby steps to make that change. And definitely do not let any abusers get into your head, because I know there are some who will never let down my past actions, whether it was one-off mistakes or the ways I acted out when I absolutely shouldn't have, because they thrive off that negative energy. They want you to be miserable and stuck in one place. At worst, some of those abusers want you to become them. Do not let that happen, because I know in the case of last year, as much as I detest to admitting it, some of the abusers from VR chat I came across last year were reminders of the person I could have become if I let the grief of losing myself as I did 2 years ago now consume me. I was too close to the deep end to have been very self-destructive that year, and I wouldn't wish what happened to me to happen to anyone else. Not just the specific incident that made me lose myself, but literally all of the abuse I dealt with across all my life. And while I always hold regrets in my heart about those I wronged so I can try changing and doing better, I do try my best not to let it fully consume me. As for 2026 in the future, I'm not sure what's going to happen in terms of what to do for this channel. I'd like to showcase some blender works and make more music, but the energies are all over the place with my mental state, as I've mentioned earlier. I guess it's up to you if you want to stick around. But, worst case scenario, I'll keep doing mashups on the other channel. Okay? Okay. I did want to try and keep this short, so I'll stop this here. If you did stick around, thank you for watching. Don't forget to eat enough, hydrate, take meds if any, and please hope you feel a good 2026. Bye for now.